Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. Currently at the time of filming this, I've got one battery. I've got to get some more. But within this video, I'm going to demonstrate the 4K normal 60 frames per second. There's currently not an HDR mode for 4K 60, only for 4K 30. But this video is 4K 60 frames per second. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording. Y'all had asked me how does 4K 60 look. We're about to find out. It is sunny. The sun's back there behind the camera. And let's see, we're going to get airborne here.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
This thing flies like a boss, man. Really good drone. There are some clouds, but the sun, there's nothing obstructing the sun right now. I'll bring it up. I'll gimbal wheel up so you can see the sun. Again, 4K 60. 4K 60 frames per second. We'll do a slow pan here so you can see how well or how poorly the camera handles the sun. That's obviously the direction of the sun. And then over here, we're gonna pan around and get some clouds. There's some darker clouds that we're about to come to in the distance. So again, this is not in HDR. This is not in high dynamic range. This is 4K 60 normal. At least at the time of filming this, the firmware when you're filming in 4K 60 does not support high dynamic range. So we're going to descend a little bit. We're at a safe altitude of about 170 feet, AGL. We're just going to descend. We're going to see how this handles different types of shots. So let's just play around here in this field and see what kind of detail we can get. Let's see, we're going to come back over towards me. See, I'm way down there. Now I'm heading towards the sun. So we're coming back this way. Let's go low and kind of slow here in 4K 60 and see what kind of detail we can get. The real advantage to 4K 60 frames per second is that extra frame rate. If you're retiming videos, speeding up or slowing down, when you have that extra frame rate, things that are retimed look better. So, you know, there's a lot of advantages to filming in a higher frame rate. One of the disadvantages, obviously, is that filming in 4K 60 instead of 4K 30 often results in larger video file size. So you might, you know, if you're going to use 4K 60, you might want to consider getting a larger micro SD card. It's always blown my mind how smooth the hover of this thing is. Let me bring it closer to the camera here so you can see. See, look at that. Let me bring it over here. Okay, now I'm going to take my hands off the stick. See, look at that. Just hovering so perfectly. This thing's a champ. Okay, now you can see the details of me, my camera equipment, the vehicle in the background. We're going to go up here while we gimbal wheel down. Going to see what kind of detail we get. I've been thoroughly impressed with the Mavic Air 2 so far, so hopefully this trend continues. Again, I never allow myself to become overly excited because, you know, there's always things that can happen. So, even though it's a DJI drone and they've got an excellent reputation in my book, I still like to thoroughly test these things. Yeah, I mean, the color, I'm excited to see the 4K 60 on YouTube when y'all are watching it. Because obviously right now I'm just looking at my little iPhone. I got an iPhone XR. I'm just looking at the screen of it. And it's sharp, man. It is super sharp. Look at that water back there and see how the detail looks. I know in 4K 30 HDR, 4K 30 high dynamic range, the water was just incredibly detailed. You could really see the shadows, especially if you put it on a you know, a 4K HDR smart TV or something. You could really see the details. Speaking of that, let's just go over to that water. See what it looks like up close. How about that? And again, you know, better not be the COVID. Can't touch your face, man. Ugh. Not good. Okay, so we're going to go over that water here. This thing handles remarkably well. I do a little gimbal wheel down here. Yeah, I'm excited to see 4K 60. Obviously, Mavic 2 Pro, awesome drone. 1-inch sensor camera. But Mavic 2 Pro doesn't do 4K 60, at least with the current firmware. It tops out at 4K 30. Look at that water on the, that sun on the water. That'll be a good indication of how, of how good or how poor this video looks. You got a boat down there in the water. See what that looks like. And do a kind of... Sorry about that, my camera overheated. Not my drone camera, but my Sony Alpha camera, because I'd been filming a lot of videos back to back. It overheated during part of that flight, so I just put up the royalty-free music. But I just wanted to do a follow-up conversation, quick one in case my camera overheats again. But yeah, 60 frames per second, that's what you just watched. 4K 60 normal mode. There is no HDR, no high dynamic range option if you're filming in 4K 60, at least at the time of this firmware. So everything went over well. I'm anxious to see how it looks. Excited to see how it looks in the video that you just watched, because at the time of filming this, I mean, I just landed the drone. The drone's right over there on the landing pad. So tell me what you think within the comment section below. And if there's other Mavic Air 2 topics that you want me to try to address within upcoming field test videos, comment below. Let me know what you want me to test. I know I've got a laundry list of things to test, and I've got one battery at this point in time. So my time in the field because of battery, and then also my primary camera overheating because it's so hot. You know, it may take me a few days to get all of these video requests that are in queue, but I'll get them as quickly as I can. Thanks for your viewership, and again, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/irixguy, and ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and again, expand this video's description and click the link there. You can find where to order the Mavic Air 2, the case, the accessories, the landing pad, and all the other drones too. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain IrixGuy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy, and ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.